everyone, I'm Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and today I'm at the FiNext event, and joining me we have Sam, the CEO of SmartPay. How are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful to be in Dubai in the region. Thank you.
Where are you coming from?
Tokyo. Yeah.
Tokyo.
Our company's based in Japan, and it's wonderful to be here. Yeah.
Do you want to compare a little bit the crypto communities between Tokyo and Dubai?
Yeah, pretty similar. I think everyone's sort of rebuilding and sort of working with a regulator to define a future. Yeah.
Yeah, the UAE definitely has a very top-down approach. The government seems to be supportive of startups. Would you say it's the same in Japan?
Yeah, very much so. Shinzo Abe, about 5 years ago, really drove a startup community in Japan, and it's been phenomenal. It's hard to enter if you're from outside Japan, but we have a great business, and it's a great culture to be doing business in. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So walk me a little bit through your experience starting SmartPay in Tokyo.
Yeah, so we decided to really heavily invest in technology. So we're the first company to allow consumers to pay directly from their bank account digitally. So we have integrated with 73 banks in Japan, and we have signed contracts with 73 banks that allow our consumers to pay directly from their bank account, and we're the first in Japan to allow that. So that's a big deal. The second is you can get credit aligned to your needs and also insurance aligned to your needs.
And a loan.
You can get loans, insurance, installments, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And really what it's doing is helping consumers with cash flow. So at the moment, interest rates is crunching everyone, right? So what you don't want to do is, everyone's got a budget. And if you spend over that budget, maybe it's not going to be the end of the world, but it's going into your savings.
Yeah.
And that feeling is, oh my God, I'm going backwards.
I'm not great at keeping to my budget, I'll admit.
It's not a nice feeling, right? So what we do is we help consumers manage their monthly budget with installments and credit over 3, 6, and 12 months.
So what kinds of purchases are we talking about? Like everyday stuff, like online shopping for clothes, for example?
Great question. So actually our target is different than most fintechs. We target sort of the 30 to 40-year-old woman, and we really allow the merchants and the experience for her. She's busy, she finds finance complicated, she has lots of bills flying in, she doesn't have time to manage all these administration jobs. She wants a finance company to help her simplify her life.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, and then also provide financial solutions that help her. And so that's what our target is. And we find a lot of fintechs target more the younger consumer.
Yeah. Especially the Gen Z generation right now, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very different than that. So my purchases are different, right? So it's lounge suites, mattresses, fridges, freezers, holidays. It's more the mature purchases versus a pair of jeans.
Gotcha. Okay, so, and what were the main challenges that you identified that you felt SmartPay solved for?
Yeah, so the challenge was helping the regulator and the government connect all the banks together to allow this ecosystem to work. Because you've got to get all the banks to agree, number one. Number two, you've got to integrate with all the banks, and they all have different APIs. And I've got an incredible tech team that showed the regulator and banks how we could do it. And then the third was, how do we protect the consumer? So protect the consumer, and we are fully tokenized. So not even I see all the consumer's data. And that's a really good thing for safety. So people can't steal data. Yeah. And that's one big thing our consumer worries about is when I'm paying for something on a merchant website, I don't even know who they are, right? I'm giving them my name, my email, my address.
I feel like there's no privacy nowadays.
And my credit card. Now, you don't give your best friend that information, right? So that's where we help the consumer, because they don't have to give all that data away to people they don't know. But I help the merchant because those consumers weren't shopping at them. They were going to site like Amazon or other places that were sort of bigger and one click. Yeah. But I'm enabling all those merchants to have one click and digital finance, and that's what's helping them as well.
Okay, and let's talk a little bit more about the tokenization aspect and why you guys chose to build it this way.
Yeah, so the Japan government was really cutting edge in making sure all the payments were tokenized. I was just in Oman last week and in Saudi Arabia as well, so that's happening in this region. And also, that's a very important part of open API banking. So the tokenization of the data means that you can enable that to happen. And so I'm working with some governments in this region about how do you structure open API banking? And there's two things in that sentence. One is just APIs, letting the APIs go in, and then two is open banking. I think open banking will come a little bit later, but APIs will happen pretty fast.
Okay, I see. All right. And then any insights that you can share with us today from the conference, maybe from the panel that you were on?
Yeah, I think great insights were around everyone's just focused on user experience. And if you do that right, profits flow, and you don't need to educate consumers. They educate themselves.
No, that's something that I've also found maybe one of the difficulties we have with the industry right now, the lack of good UX, and maybe that's why more people haven't signed on.
So I have a lady in my company called Erica. She's been in designing UX for the last 5 years. She is so strict on everything we do, and it's all based on human-centric design. Even our email design, she's strict on. And she is the gatekeeper for everything. And that keeps our culture strict around user experience.
All right, I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Thank you.